mess with justice.
Hey there guys, Tron here, and welcome back to another Tron top picks, or whatever. This is a top 10. That's actually a really old series. We only did like 1 or 2 episodes of that, I think. Where today I'll be ranking all of the villains that I have. Now, most of you think that there's probably only 11 villains, 1 from each element, and then Chaos, but there's not. I consider Dr. Neocortex a villain. Because, like, what other category would you put him in? Master doesn't show up on his thing. I mean, it doesn't show up on Crash's either. But in Neocortex's game, he is the villain, and even has a level where he's kind of the villain in Thump kind of, not really. It's really the other Crash. But let's just get this started. I actually accidentally started this without hitting record. And that number 11 is going to be Bad Juju. Now, Bad Juju has... her name says it all, like, seriously. I do not consider her that good. To be fair, I have not given her a chance. As you can see, like, you got your first attack swashers. Like, you get it from a basic swashbuckler. Her second one is you send out Juju Jr. And then he just sits there and doesn't do anything. Like, I find it cool that you do more damage if he's out and do more and have better defenses while he's in. But, like, come on. And it's actually a pretty sizable difference of like 10 per hit. But like his third move is you zap him with lightning. So you can kind of use that as like close range, or you can send him out and then hit him with a lightning. Personally, I don't find Bad Juju that good, mainly because when Juju is sent out, he does damage on the way out and on the way in, but after that, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's on, I was about to say on fire, but he's being electrocuted after you zap him, but he doesn't do anything after that point. So I consider Bad Juju just not as good as the villains. I mean, I don't hate her. It's kind of like a Sprocket kind of thing to me. I don't like her gameplay that much, but I still like the villain from Trap Team. Alright, number 10 is going to be Dr. Neocortex. Now, again, I have not given him a... oh, it does say Sensei. Well, it doesn't say Master, I mean. But Cortex is actually quite fun. I think the villains are all amazing Skylanders. And Cortex is a pretty good way of that. Like, you got your Ooga 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 thing, which, like, I've never really played the games, so I don't really care. Like, it does damage and pushes them off, which is cool. So it's like close range, like, get out of my face with a face, kind of. I don't know. And if you hold it, you can chuck one of these there, which is really good. Is while you're in there, every time you shoot, it throws one of these things, and then your blast split off into 5 different ways after that, which is actually really good. The only problem is it moves around too quick. I find it really hard to aim. Like, I didn't want to throw it all the way over there, but it's over there anyways. And the next one, his third move, is he throws a mine, just like Sprocket. Like, it's a lot better than Sprocket's. The mine thing is really the only thing that I liked about Sprocket. And if you hold it, you can get on a little thing, which does damage. I didn't want to do that. Throw mine, do this. And if you hit it again, you can throw him at the back end. So, like, he's got a little bit of everything on his side, which I find pretty fun, so. And then Skychi, let me just do it. What's he doing? Oh, he gets lasers. Oh, that's fun. Alright, that's actually pretty cool, the laser thing. But, like, again, it's kind of hard to aim a bit. Okay, that's some ladies. Alright, the next Skylanders on this list, I absolutely love the rest of them. Like, Bad Juju is just kind of meh. Neocortex was definitely better, but the rest of these Skylanders I love, and I really, really had a hard time putting them into there. And they also move up and down all the time, so take it with a grain of salt. But number 9 is going to be the life villain Chompy Mage. Now, Chompy Mage is a very good Skylander, and he's one of the most common villains besides like Chaos being in Giants, while other villains were only in Trap Team and then got in Imaginators. And he's really good. You fire your chompies, like you spawn chompies. You hardly get hit because your enemies go for the chompies. And you can run around doing this. You can, if you jump up, you can hold A to fire a little pistol thing. You can't move while you're doing it, but it does a lot of damage. It does damage on impact, and later it does like another 200 for like bang damage on impact, and then it explodes. So that's always fun. His second move is a little, whatever heck this thing is. Personally, that's the only thing that's holding him back, is the little puppet scream thing. It's not that good. Like, come on. Another thing that he's got is you can go into a little chompy, which chucks chompies out. And while you're in it, you can do a little dash to get around faster. I love doing this. And one of his best things, if you jump in the air and hit that, you throw your maximum amount of chompies everywhere, which is really good. Like if you don't have any chompies on the field, you throw that out there. And his Sky Chi, he bounced around on a pogo, which is actually pretty fun, and I quite enjoy it. Another reason why he isn't this as higher is because they didn't do anything with the giant chompy, which I kind of think of as his entire thing. So yeah. All right, number 8 is going to be Hoodsicle. Now, Hoodsicle is my favorite dark, but that does not mean that he's my favorite villain. Hoodsicle is very good. I absolutely love his design, and I just consider him really stinking good. But he's held back by a few things. One is I don't really find when I play as him, he usually dies pretty fast. Like he's got a lot of health, but when I play as him, he dies kind of quickly. All things considered, not as fast as if I played as Ember or like Tri-Tip, but he dies fast, and like he's very good. Like you can see this thing. If you dash, you can put out these little thingamabobs will power up your scythe, and then you got that. It does momentarily stop you, but it's very good, especially once you hit it with your sickle, because it starts chucking these things everywhere, which is really good. So you can be in like 2 places at once with Hoodsicle, and personally, I love him for it. I love Hoodsicle. Now that I think about it, I probably should have put him higher, but there's just other Skylanders other villains and stuff that are just better. And one of them being kind of his opposite. 10, 9, 8. I think this is 7. That's going to be Blastertron. Now, like, Blastertron is very good. I absolutely love Blastertron. But, again, it's just kind of the case of everybody else, in my opinion, is just better. Like, you've got a close/far range with his little thing. It shoots out lasers. You can hit him up close with your sword, and then they also shoot out lasers. So, like, it's really good. Just that would make him good enough. If you can hold it, if you do it for a short amount of time, you can fly around and then smack it like this. But if you keep holding it, you go like this, and you spin around shooting lasers everywhere, which is really good. His second move is you toss out one of these doodads, and it will... I'm on the bottom path, which means it'll suck enemies in and explode occasionally. It's really good. Like Hoodsicle, you can be in 2 places at once, but Blastertron's is just better while you can be over here doing this. But what I really like about him is his third move, which you shoot out these rockets. They got a little tether in front of them. Does it out damage. But if you get one of these in there, shoot the rockets through, it shoots out a bunch of mini rockets that slows them down so that way they can do more damage. You can sit in here and fire these things everywhere. I really, really like that about Blastertron. It's absolutely fun. And his Sky Chi isn't that good, which is kind of another thing. But one way to get around that is if you throw one of those down, it'll suck enemies in, which means that they will all be in 1 point. So when you do that, it'll be a little, you can hit a bit more than if you didn't go on that path or just didn't use it at all. Like you saw how they got sucked in there. Fire off a bunch of them and it explodes. Very, very good. Alright, number 6, which is kind of in the middle, which is kind of where I think she should be, is going to be Golden Queen. Now, Golden Queen, if I didn't play as her and given her a chance, she would have been like lower than Chompy Mage. But she is very good. Recently, I did a review on her, and I had a heck of a lot of fun doing that. Like, just her, and that's not really for one reason only. But her first move is actually really good. You throw out some your beetles, which do really good damage. Then if you hold this up, it will send out a Mega one, which does massive damage, as long as has like a little strafe thing, which will do damage to them over time if they don't instantly die to it. Her second move, that's not her second move, but her third move is you summon a little turret. That's basically it with that move, is it summons a turret to help you. It's quite good. Her second move is you turn enemies to gold like this, which is actually really, really good. But my favorite thing about her is if you hold that, you go under here like this and come up as a big queen or whatever it is, where you can just sit there and smash. Just smash, smash, smash. Yeah, just like 2 hits and he's dead. Like, granted, they're both crits, but like, get out of here. It's so good. I think it's one of the best damage per second per game. In the game. But that is really good. And then you can also do your laser eyes, which I just, whenever I play as Golden Queen, I'm in this form 99% of the time just because it's so much fun. She's got the health to take it, and I just love her. And then her Sky Chi is actually pretty good too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you can get a lot of hits. It's really good for big crowds, but that's what this move is for, big crowds. But anyways, that is why Golden Queen's there, really. Now, number 5 is going to be the tech one, the other tech one, I guess, Dr. Crankcase. Now, Dr. Crankcase is here for the same reason as Golden Queen. I really like Dr. Crankcase and Golden Queen. And yeah, but I just like its gameplay better. Because just by shooting his pistols without doing anything else, you're getting massive damage right off the bat. Oh, come on. I'm going to have to do another one. But you saw that they put down puddles there that are really good. You can hold up for a massive shot, which does insane damage. It takes like no time to charge. Does insane damage, like 300. And leaves behind goo puddles to hit even more times, really. And on top of that, do I have to open it to do another one? Gosh darn it. Ultimate, at least it's not ultimate. 80 luck. Okay. Pretty good. Alright, so let me just get back into the arena of that all. We're almost at 80. You saw a second move there is you do a little spin. I'm on the path. I don't really use the spin that much unless it's to spin through some goo, which throws the goo everywhere for even more damage. Because on its own, this doesn't do a ton of damage. It's like 15. It's rapid damage, but it's just not that good. It's a lot better if you spin through the goo, because it triples the amount of goo on the field by just going through one. And I find it a lot of fun to do anyways. And his third move is really good too, is because you can summon 2 or 3 hatbots at a time that will go out and attack enemies on top of whatever you're doing beforehand, which is actually amazing. See, okay, it doesn't do as much damage as I thought, but it might as well do that much damage, because, I don't know, Dr. Crankcase, just a lot of fun. His Sky Chi is really good too, where you just spin around in circles. It's, again, really good for area, lots of enemies, but Dr. Crankcase overall can just take care of a lot of enemies really quickly. Now, number 4 is going to be the big bad of the series, that being Chaos. Now, I think Chaos is an amazing... I love his character, one of my favorite NPCs. And his gameplay is a heck of a lot of fun, too. He does a lot of damage really quickly. Again, probably some best damage per second in the game. You've got... Plus, he's like the perfect range. He's like the perfect Skylander as well. Like, you got your melee for really big damage. You got your far range, which does really good. Because the good thing about the far range is does a big shot, and then the next 2 shots kind of... He's got area of effect, everything. His third move, though, is what kind of ties the whole thing together. Is you can summon a Doom Ranger, which other people attack, I think, but it'll also do damage as well, which is really nice. But that's not all. If you hold his A button, you will do like a mega kaboom with his fist, which does a lot of damage, has some good rate. It's a lot of fun. And then if you hold his second move, he does the Doom Sharks, which I find a whole lot of fun. Like, they had that in Trap Team, is from the first game, and it's just a lot of fun. It activates instantly, unlike the other ones, and they do actually target enemies, area of effect really easy. I still don't know how much damage it does, though. Man, wow, that sucks. But I suppose is a good one to do. The next one is if you rapidly tap C. No. How do you do it? How do you do a soul gem? Wait, I don't have all of his... You're kidding me, right? I don't have Chaos maxed out? Jeez, what the heck? That is... Wow. That is... Yeah, hold C. Oh, I wasn't holding C, I was spamming it. But yeah, hold C, you go in the air, and you start chucking things everywhere. It's got insane range. Of course you can't move while you're doing it, but it's a lot of fun to do. And then his Sky Chi has the giant floating head, which, like, you just sit there and you spam your eye lasers. Like, it's just a lot of fun. I love his personality, which is why he is where he is. Like, I didn't have to say all that because it's Chaos, but whatever. Now, number 3 is one that I don't think a whole lot of people like, but I definitely like a lot, and that is going to be Wolfgang. I love Wolfgang. One of my favorite villains in the franchise. I love his character, especially in Trap Team. His Trap Team version is good. And on top of that, his Imaginator's version is amazing. Like, you've got your bow slinger, and then you saw that you can hold it. It's, like, instantaneous as well for really good damage. It knocks him back. And, like, you can just sit there and hold it. Like, you fire one, you can hit it. Yeah, there it goes. It's a little bit of a hit and miss. Which, like, that right there is good. His third move is you summon with some of this, which is good. And then you can, you know, surf through enemies with his knee slide. You can keep spamming it, or at the end you do a little kaboom, which will actually repel enemies, and then while you're in it, you will do triple shots, which is fun. There is something that he does where, like, if you knee slide through... No, there's something that he had, like, if you knee slided through your speakers, it does a big explosion. Oh, it's just, if you put some of that up, if you go away, it makes a little big explosion. So if you go from one to the other, it's really good, which is actually still really good. And then, yeah, that's basically all Wolfgang has, except if you jump in the air and hit C, you do this big concert thing, which is good for area of effect, like I said. He doesn't have a ton of health, but that is pretty easily overcome at this point. And all in all, Wolfgang, amazing. He's also got one of the best Sky Chis. because you ride around on this. It does insane damage. You can move pretty fast. It's insta-killing spell punks, apparently. And personally, I just have a lot of fun playing as Wolfgang. Now, number 2 is, I don't know if I would say underrated, but he should definitely be talked about more. And that is going to be Grave Clobber. I love Grave Clobber, especially the way he talks. I don't know why. His you don't really see a whole lot of his character in Trap Team, but still, it's really fun. Like, each one of his punches do 100 damage. Other characters could only dream of doing so much damage. And on top of that, he's got the highest health bar in Skylanders Imaginators. Not in the franchise, the Giants have that, I think specifically Crusher. But still, insanely good. But that's not all. Like, there's a lot more to him. If you hold A, you do a little lariat thing. It's called a lariat, where you swipe through them instantly. You spawn a bunch of these things, which do damage, and then you go right through them. But, like, you can just jump away from it and instantly have 3 of them without having to do it with his second move, which is fun. You just, like, whoop, and surprise. If you hit it with your fist, it will... You can kind of push it around. If you hit it with your fist, it'll do a big explosion with area of effect. It's nice to have. What I don't really use that one specifically. I usually set them up like that, but I don't really use this one specifically. If I do, it's instantaneous, like right in front of me kind of thing, just to like have it there, and the explosion knocks enemies back as well. And then his other amazing move is his belly flop. The belly flop does area of effect. It stuns enemies. It throws out a little wave in front of you as well for some range. So he's got range, ultra powerful melee, range, summoner. Again, is just kind of the perfect Skylander now as well. And like, that's really good. But where he really shines is his combos. Boom! 740 damage. That is the most damage I've ever seen like a single move do, besides maybe Ember's big charge up shot. So like, that is disgusting. And then on top of that, you can also do a little sumo slam for 300 damage. But like, why would you do that when you could do the other one? But it's still fun to do. He also does this little, like, look at his... He jumps right back up. I think it's a cool animation. But it's like, why would you do that when you could do... Not that. Why would you do that when you could do this? Kablam! And like, one-shot everything. It's amazing. And then his Sky Chi is really good when you get overwhelmed with enemies. You sit in one spot and you punch everything out of existence with some wave. It's really fun to do, and on top of that, his design is just a lot of fun. Now, number 1 is going to actually be my 5th favorite Skylander ever, and if you've been on the channel for a while, you should already know who it's going to be and why, really. That is going to be Taekwon Crow. I love Taekwon Crow. His design is amazing. His gameplay is ridiculous, and his character, I love his character, especially from Trap Team. Like, I'm just hitting his first move without holding any buttons, without powering it up, and they're bouncing around ridiculous. Like, he's got insane farm rate. And the thing is, you can hold it for a minute to, like, a few seconds to throw out, like, 5 of them at once for even more damage. Like, boom. If you would get out of the way, you'd see it. But if you hold it for a bit longer, you could throw these buzzsaw blades, which do 2 hits of 220 for, like, 440 total, which is really good. But I think you might be able to power him up with a kick. Taekwon Crow is another one of those perfect Skylanders. You've got range. You've got melee with the kicks that does a little wall. And if you throw your Ninja Stars through them, it does ridiculous amount of power. It's really good, especially if you get one of these off. It's amazing. And like, you don't even have to be right in front of it. You just have to toss them through them at some point. And like, even the bounces do ridiculous. He's got like the lowest health in the game, maybe even in the franchise. but that he is a glass cannon, and I am fine with that. His second move is you can summon a buzzerbeak. You can only have one of the small ones at a time, but you can call in a bigger one for 2. And if you kick the bird, it does more damage and more health and everything. So, like I said, perfect Skylander. You've got far range, insane far range. You've got close range, and a summoners. And his Sky Chi is also equally amazing. By you stay in one spot and you chuck these things everywhere. It's very good if you get in a tight spot. He's basically like Grave Clobber, just better, you know. So, anyways, I've rambled on for far too long about these Skylanders. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time.